How about some actual strategical analysis this game
Okay.
for a change?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm done.
All right. This is actually, like, I always say this, like, I notice people never bring up Overpass as like the best map or whatever because people probably like, I don't know, Mirage or something like that better. I think it is the best map in the game right now because the key thing is, like, if you can't play it, yeah, you get punished for not understanding how to play the map. But if you can play it, there's so many amazing things you can do on this map. I love it.
Slow plays, fast plays, gimmicks.
And I also think if you do get two teams who are really good on it, it's amazing to watch.
I wonder if this is like a round that Heroic has done before. Like this feels like it could be heavily like anti-strat.
This looks like an anti, yeah, for sure.
But like, that's really interesting. They're going to do a full B retake.
It's going to work as well.
Three short B and 2 monster. That's cool. But Kinguin planted. It seems for CT spawn they're pushing towards CT spawn, so it's going to be really difficult for Heroic with 5 armors, no kit, no smoke. Like, how are they going to defuse this bomb? I think they took too many risks here. Having said that,
well, that was too easy. Yeah, this looked like they actually antied this from the demo, right?
Maybe. It's an interesting like concept. It's not like something that you could rely on because if you are a team that's playing against Heroic and you're like, okay, let's look at like the pistols they've done on Overpass the past 3 games. What have they done, or past 4 games? And you see this. All you have to do is like get a guy to pick that crack from the underground ladder. And if you see people going connector, you're like, oh, they're probably doing that 5 underground thing.
Okay.
So we could probably just go up along A, and they probably can't hear it at all or something. Or let's just wait for them to come 2 guys up the ladder and try to initiate their early flank. Something like that, right?
If you know that this is the team's one of their best maps, though, not a bad gamble to do if you don't think you're that strong yourself, though.
This is interesting with the new economy. So Kinguin got the bomb plant, so they're forcing them an AK2 Galils. So Heroic, they go for FOMUses and M4s, really light on utility. I think that might bite them in the ass
I was asking you about a nuke, right?
Yeah.
So you aren't a fan of this generally because you didn't get the utility?
On a map like Overpass, it's weird because like you have to play. Like, you have to split up. There's just so much ground that you have to cover, right? So you're either 2 at A or you're 3 at A and you're playing aggressive, in which case you're playing passive on B type of thing. And I feel like the AKs are just, like, really strong. Seems like Kinguin's not winning the duels that they need to do.
It's just fragging that's getting them.
Yeah, like, if you're allowing a FOMUS to get multi-frags, then, you know, it's like, what can you do? It's not like it's the call that's bad. It's just like, you need to hit your shots at some point. And I don't even think it's, like, a bad thing, because Kinguin, they take a save here, they buy the following round, and it's like, you know, old economy, you lost pistol. Not much has changed.
Sure.
But I like the buy call. And they got the opening. It was a 5-on-4. I think the thing with CT side of Overpass is, like, you have so much, like, so many, like, pick fall potential or, like, untradeable positions that you could play. Yeah. You get a kill and you can stay alive. And if the enemy wants to come trade you, then they're going to, you know, give up a second kill or they're going to get traded easily. I think that's where Kinguin kind of fell into a trap after they got that first kill. Instead of being like, okay, we only have that 1 kill, let's slow down a little bit. This guy goes in, untradeable. This guy goes in, untradeable. Oh, you just gave him 2K.
Yes.
Sick. Five long A, 3 deagles. What's happening there? I like this trade of weapons. You give the MP9 to the guy with that slow health, up a full health guy fight, but he just wide swings out.
That wasn't a great move.
It's kind of dumb that he wide swung out that far. Like
if they'd have both just stayed in there, you don't necessarily know there's going to be 2 in there.
Or they could wrap back through like the front side bathrooms. And then they could get back to sands type of thing, and then they can hold those, like a crossfire there, and just have like one of their B teammates rotate out. Overpass is a map where it's like, if you go slow as a T, like you got to think about it. Like if you're playing close middle as a CT, and let's say you're playing like to cover fountain, there's a certain point in the round where the enemies could be up underground on you or they could be out playground on you. So you have to give them the respect and fall back. If nothing's happening, you have to give them respect that they fall back.
Okay.
And if you're like, oh, maybe they're doing a B hit and you want to get, you know, get an early flank or something, you start rotating to push through and flank, then you could get punished for that. So at a certain point in the round, CTs on Overpass need to fall back from A, or they need to rotate another person towards A. So like 2 guys are close short, 1 guy's watching long. B's weak. So you have to take those sort of gambles from time to time. I think that's what I was trying to allude to when I think Kinguin's going to do well in this map. Because this 3-0 scoreline is kind of deceiving. I feel like this is a really good opening into the round from Kinguin. They got the 2 quick entries. They haven't cleared out the site fully, though. There's a player in the pit, and SC is able to run out heaven and get one. That's kind of dumb. But Kinguin's probably going to pick up this round.
And the economy's busted on the heroic side. There's just Modi has money, basically.
It's actually a winnable situation for Heroic.
Okay.
That should never happen.
That you win this.
That was a 5-on-3 with the bomb planted in the site. So really good individual performance from Heroic there. SSTag just got out heaven unpunished. That's stupid. He should get punished for that immediately. Then Kinguin didn't clear out the pit fully. I think one of the things that you should be doing as a T is once you get those 2 entries, you need to insert a guy into pit right away and clear that out first and foremost. And secondly, it's such a strong post-plant position. It's just
look at this! Look at this! No one's there at the moment as well. Like you could just be spread out fully. Like how are people getting picked off on their own? You know,
it's dumb. Dying on train.
They're gonna do it again.
There's a V-rush, yeah. Vargas smokes himself off barrels. It's just an annoying play, right? He doesn't even have to go and like kill anyone. Just him being alive with the smoke up is making Kinguin so scared to come up and actually go through this. And that's allowing time for Heroic's teammates to rotate in there. So it's not just like 3 people there, it's 4 people there now. I can see the logic behind Kinguin being like, let's run the same play again. We got 5-on-3 last time we lost in the post play. Let's do it again. I think better protocols from Heroic in this round, though.
And they've got the big flank coming in.
And they got the big flank. Big early flank.
I mean, this is a depressing spot if you Kinguin now. 0 rounds after all that.
I think they definitely had opportunities earlier in the game. I think even... It's weird because even in the pistol round, they were in such good positions. The bomb planted for CT spawn, players towards CT spawn, Heroics 5 Kevlar, no kit, no smoke, and they're just winning all these aim duels. And it's just like Kinguin's not even like forcing Heroic to do anything crazy.
Just knife the guy in
just
spawn.
knifing the teammate casually. Why not?
I'm always amazed to players who do that. It's like you're not in face it now, are you? Like why are you knifing teammates?
Oh,
just a bad habit.
And the guy that got knifed obviously gets naded in T-pit, so why not? Jeez. It just feels like Kinguin's like sloppy right now. This doesn't feel like them firing on all cylinders. It's not like they're making bad decisions. It just feels like they're just not.
They've also generally got individually just outshot by the Heroic players over the series so far, I think.
Yeah.
In most of the straight up aim duels I've seen, you know. There's one free kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going through the Kinguin minds at the moment. They need to look for a pick, though. It is just like a small investment, though. It's not like it's a full buy or anything, so they're probably just looking. I would say like their primary goal would be like keep the economy low, make sure that Heroic's cycling nades, and Heroic's doing just that. You throw a smoke down, and what they use, they smoked front bathrooms, they threw a molly, they threw another smoke. Here's another smoke on top of that. It's like, okay, you've just wasted like $2 grand worth of utility, right? So not like even though they have no kills so far, it's not like it's like a terrible like complete loss. It's like these guys have to buy.
If you got one aim duel here, you might get on the site, might get a bomb down.
Yeah.
You got something at least, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do there. People just shot you when you came on the screen.
I'm wondering if Kinguin's going to do some sort of like fake play with those B nades, or if they're just going to slow down entirely. I feel like if you're in this situation, you're T, you've been doing these you've force bought on second round, you got that opening pick, you got punished because you were too fast. You took some saves, you did a B rush, you got the opening kills, and you fell flat on the after plant. You try the same B rush because you're like, oh well, it almost worked, so let's do it again, and then it just gets shut down entirely from the fast control. Let's slow down. Slow down the round entirely. Let's just take a moment to breathe, think, process this, make them sweat. I think that's like one of the most important things. So Kinguin's doing exactly
expecting that same rush on B again.
Yeah. I think right here is pretty good from Kinguin. They're just going slow, and they're just making Heroic sweat, kind of not showing them like, hey, we're here or we're there. And I think that at this moment, like Kinguin's probably in a really good position to win this as long as they play this round out without making any dumb decisions, like going into bathrooms alone where you get killed.
This guy here, obviously, he's going to do a lot.
Yeah, this guy pushed long. I mean, maybe he gets one, but he's going to get traded out. There's nothing he could do, and he gives up the site, right?
Yeah.
He needs a
This
team with the
attack
flash
should
him, but
absolutely get
he's fine.
flashed and then traded on, even if he somehow gets the kill.
Yeah. Here he goes, and
Ooh,
all
yeah.
3 of the
Okay, that's fine.
CTs are at B. They're going to rotate spawn. Here comes a melee bank. They're probably going to smoke the jump up position. Jump up, of course, from the old overpass before
Sure.
they... when it was a box that you had to jump on.
Yes. Doesn't make any sense anymore, but...
It's like an unambiguous wall, right?
See, this is another example where, like...
Yeah, you're just letting
just
him
getting
out.
killed.
Right? Like the bonk plan default, like, do you have to be
Their
in these
post plants
positions?
have been pretty weak.
Yeah, it's kind of pitiful, to be honest. But who am I to talk? Ha!
Alright, mate. Nothing's back.
Nice.
His mic's not on, though. Turn Nothing's mic on, please. Hello. No, still not on. Is the production
Oh my
listening?
god. Oh my
Oh,
good god.
that is outrageous. That, by the way, that's the one where... By the way, I've known a lot of Polish players. There will be a lot of raging after that round. It will not be a happy camp, you know. There'll be some anger expressed. The word curva will probably be said many times.
You gotta find out where that bomb is, like before the smoke.
That's outrageous,
pops.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's.
It's the fact no one was even challenging him while he's defusing it.
Yeah.
Like, where are you imagining he is? You know.
Well, I think maybe they're afraid like he's on top of the box playing like the one-way
Right,
smoke because
and he's
that's
just
what he
faked it.
allowed himself to do. But you still need to. So if the CT is throwing a smoke on the bomb, first of all, like as soon as you hear that smoke like bouncing or you see it, like you need to be like, okay, I got first contact on it, and you need to know. Like, you need to be able to visualize where the bomb is and where the player is going to be defusing from before that smoke pops, and you need to communicate it to your teammate. I got first contact on the bomb. And that probably wasn't done because the guy was just able to defuse for free, and the guy's just, like, kind of not even fully committing to killing the guy. Just kind of popping off some shots here, popping off some shots, just hoping. It looks like Kinguin's just falling apart, so everything I was saying about them before the game makes me just look like an idiot at this point.
It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, the sad thing is, like, it's like if you stopped the round at the point they get to the bomb site, and you said, to, like, how many rounds should they have in this game?
Right.
You'd be like 3 or 4 at least, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the idea they have none is like, well, that's their own fault as well. Like, first of all, yeah, Heroics hit some shots, but Kinguin also has repeatedly mispositioned on all these post plants.
Yeah.
Not had any protocol to know where someone's going to come from. Where am I watching? If you're watching here. Like, literally letting people just walk into the site. Some alien stuff going on in there.
I mean, those 2 after plants alone are probably like really big deciding factors of where we are right now in the match. But I mean, even pistol round, like, how do you mess up pistol round like that? If you guys, Jordan,
Yeah, I was
if you
having
guys-
trouble with the
I just
coffee
get-
machine.
If you guys haven't seen pistol round, Heroic as CTs went 5 into underground. 3 of them
Really?
waited. 2 of them pushed towards the ladder.
And it
Wait,
wasn't-
wait,
it
you said
wasn't a big
heroic
attack.
went 5 in
Yes.
underground?
Heroic
Wait,
was
And it was
an
a
A
full.
at CT.
It was a full B attack. For
And they
all
had
that.
5 Kevlar. They had no kit, no
So
smoke,
what?
nothing.
You did all 5 flanks?
Kinguin went B. They planted the bomb for CT. They pushed 2 people to CT spawn. Heroic's retaking 3 people short B and 2 people outside monster from T spawn.
Right.
Heroic wins it with like 5 alive or something stupid. Was it 5? It was 4 or
Quite
5
a
alive.
few.
But
least,
even with
yeah.
full control on the T side, like
Yep.
pushing
It's-
lower.
They
That-
had the site completely, and they planted the bomb.
How's that happen?
That's yeah.
Tell me-
I don't know.
Now, question for you.
Yes.
I missed all of Nuke as well.
Yeah.
Was it? Does that sum up Nuke as well? That pistol round in that sense? I heard it was very one-sided as well.
It was. I mean, this game right now is pretty one-sided. Like Heroic's been in 3 versus 5s and 1 with the bomb planted.
Right.
Right.
What was first map score? Was it 16-6? It was
Somewhat pretty big.
okay.
Yeah.
Somewhat pretty
There's
big.
at least a 10-round difference.
Heroic start CT side.
Heroic
I would
started
assume they started
T-side.
T-side on that one.
last map. Kinguin had 4 CT rounds.
Let me see that again. Sure.
Fucking Pasha.
All right.
Pasha's,
Show Duncan. Show Duncan.
Pasha's like, it's a fake nothing. And it's like, of course, like, it's a crash region.
Yeah, baby.
That's some bad crease, mate.
The,
That's some bad crease.
Or a great one.
Depends
great.
what you're starting with and what you're upgrading to. So
I mean, listen, we're all excited.
that's where he
for
was
this
for the last
soundtrack.
10 minutes stuffing, you know, some sort of
There's a lot
Italian
of big
sausage down
bathrooms in
there.
here.
Yeah.
That's great.
What's your favorite Halloween candy? Now that we have like a bowl of it.
I don't like
I'm not a
candy
fan of
corn or
American
anything.
candy to begin with. It's
Like,
just
I think American candy's pretty good.
really.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite?
I like
Nerds?
Laffy Taffy. That's pretty good.
Nerds. Laffy
I
Taffy.
think nerds are pretty good.
Nerds are pretty good. Flavors. The only problem with nerds is it's the salt where if you eat too much, it like wrecks your mouth. It's just so chemically, you know. I think it tastes
All
pretty
right.
good.
It's like
Duncan's
pure
never,
sugar.
Duncan has never had an Uncrustable before, so he's going to have to try one later.
I'll try one
Uncrustable?
tomorrow.
Crystals are pretty
tomorrow.
good, but if you read the ingredients, you might not want to eat them.
No, I mean, he'll
It's like
he'll
Xanth-
try
I
it.
had one
Xanthic
today
gum.
anyways.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're obviously
I had
gonna
one.
have or two.
Phosphoric acid.
Yeah.
It's if you see it, it's just gross. Like the
Just sounds like
ingredients
a
and then
chemistry
like
kit or something.
Yeah, yeah, no,
nutritional
it's
Is any of this
yeah,
food? You know.
It's not. It's probably not. It has calories, but I don't really think it counts as food.
Josh, you know what's been interesting for me because I heard you talk about contact. You're one of the few guys, and I think Sean, who when you do instructional videos, you kind of do abstract topics like that. Like I do a lot of like ranting about like random like contacts or nade usage or things.
Sure.
It's so interesting. I released that CS:GO course.
Yeah.
I have a Q&A section. It's so crazy how many people need contact explained.
Okay.
How many people need
The amount of terminology
wide
they need
peak.
just before they can even understand the
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah,
That's the
explained.
problem.
Yeah.
Someone who's like experienced is going to think, right, I'll dumb it down. It's like, dude, you're not dumbing it down enough. They need it. They need to start at the
Yeah.
bottom and go up.
That's
You're trying to
why-
come down.
It's actually been
you know,
really
they need to go from the
illuminating.
bottom. Yeah.
Doing
There's-
lessons with people that are beginners have like I've had
Sure,
to like
yeah.
Dude, I had
rethink
no
everything.
idea, yeah.
So a few years ago when I was like doing streaming full time, obviously because I couldn't play, I did some stuff like people would come to my stream chat and they would like offer suggestions for like ideas. So I do like, what is series, where I just break down like what is the basic terminology. What is a pop flash? What is a default?
I
what
like
is
that.
map
Right,
control?
that's
Yeah, I
very
like that.
smart.
It was like pretty popular. I stopped doing it because like I don't know.
No, I
like,
love
various
those.
reasons.
I immediately wanted to copy the idea, like I
Well.
did in different forms. You know.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
but it makes sense.
all
That's why-
content creators are what they're doing is they're looking at other ideas from other content
Course,
creators,
yeah.
looking at what the demand
Put
is.
your
and
own
just
spin on it.
Put your own spin on it, and if people like you more, then they'll watch it. Or if people want to just see, I'm sure people that watch your stuff or watch my stuff watch each
Crossover, and I
yeah,
actually
there's a lot
encourage
of
it all the
crossover.
time. I always say, make sure you watch multiple people.
When-
you get it more context.
But then you can do the same thing if Josh has already made one of those videos where he explains and you use the same kind of
I
terminology.
could add my own opinion to
Right.
it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, yeah, exactly. I mean,
When-
that's what people do as well. They rewatch and take your own spin. Let's say you're listening to his content in that sense, right? And he doesn't DMC, but if you
Yeah.
do that, right? Then you have his insight on top of that with yours, right?
Yeah.
That's like a good dimension.
When-
You do the same thing with, say, Jordan's videos.
That's
and
when I
whatnot.
rage on the kids who ask how to get better at the game. And
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
start out with a little bit of effort.
Here's the problem with that question. The problem with that question, let's be real, is it's usually not like a good faith question. Like if they actually legit did mean like, how do I improve?
Totally.
Oh, we can tell you that, but for every game I've ever seen, you're not going to like the answer because it's going to be like, those really boring things that like you don't like to do. Start with those.
You know
like,
those friends you
learn
hang
like
out
the
with?
spot to play, watch a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, no, but what? Should I get like a better mouse? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, come on, dude. You want the secret
When-
answer, don't you?
Right.
People
Yeah,
come to me
exactly,
for
yeah.
lessons.
Right.
Like I say, like straight up, like I don't offer them, and there's like a few reasons why I don't offer them, and I think like part of it is people are just expect like you sit down with them for an hour and they're suddenly gonna go up 3 ranks or something in matchmaking.
Otherwise,
You know what really helped me is the
Yeah.
surveys. I created before like halfway through the lessons. I don't even
Okay.
do lessons anymore. I just did a survey. I
People
made
ask
like
me if I
a
do
12
lessons. I say
question.
no. I'm like they ask who does it. I say you could ask either nothing or Dren.
I stopped, but when I started charging a bit more. It was like 16 an hour, but you had to buy like 6.
yeah.
And I started to say, but you had to fill out the survey, and I had to approve you.
right.
Because it got a little obnoxious where there was a couple people who would get super snarky with me. Like
Right.
I was supposed to tell
Yeah.
them.
Hey, I already know that, bro. Why don't
It's
you
like,
teach me
well-
something? It's like,
And-
come on,
okay,
mate. If you
well-
were doing that, you wouldn't be in whatever level you're
Yeah.
at, could you?
And I'm watching the guy. I'm also like specking his demos.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because I would tell him, attach a demo,
Yes.
fill out the survey, and then I give you 4 hours of in-game server time, 2 demo reviews
Chunks
before
in.
and after.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the guy, and like he barely knows how to stop and shoot at the same time.
Yeah.
And he's like arguing with me about like everything I tell him.
Oh,
Yeah.
the worst ones are the ones, right, where like they do in theory want to learn, but like for example, say you tell them like, oh, in your demo here, like this is a mistake. They're like, no, but the reason why I did that though is because like in the games, like, I don't really care why, mate.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you
that's
that it's
just
wrong.
pushback
Yeah.
where it's just
Don't
like-
worry about the reason why.
Yeah.
It's just wrong. Don't worry.
But I do appreciate that. I don't know if you guys do demo reviews just on stream sometimes.
I used to.
I think people really
Sean's
like that.
good at it.
Right?
Sean is really
That's
good at that.
like that's
Yeah.
because then, for example, let's say you're an upcomer, right? And like, oh, I watch all these pro games.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I want to spend money, or I don't want to send my own demos. Just the inside of like watching.
Did you ever do lessons?
Back in the day, like 2007, I
Yeah.
did. So, it was
Source.
terrible. It was. I hated it because it's one of those things of like. They don't even know the spray patterns and stuff, and I feel like I'm just
It
stealing
requires
money
a lot
from
of
these
patience
kids,
too, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think there needs so the way that you say like, oh, you do it like 6. You have to like commit to 6 lessons, right? You need to get some sort of like understanding of where this person is, like what is their baseline, like where are you
Sure.
going to go from, and then you need to like go and help them with things, and then you need to say, okay, like take what you've learned, implement it, come back to me in a week
Yes.
or two, show me what you've learned, and
Spread
we'll
it out
review
over
it
the course
again,
of a
and we'll
month.
be like, well, this thing that you did here, remember we talked about this, and it's good because of this, or it's bad
And you
because
give
of
them
this.
time, yeah.
So when I started like transitioning to doing lessons like that, it suddenly became less like interesting for people. Like they're like, wait, I have to do like multiple lessons, and it costs how many hundreds of dollars?
Yes.
It's like,
Or
well,
time.
I mean, what do you want? Like, are you
mean I
trying to
can't
like
just
you
queue
can
up
just
every
download
hour?
cheats if you want, I guess, if you want to be instantly
That's basically
better.
what they're asking for, though.
But it's like, how pathetic is that?
Oh.
Like,
Of
work
course.
ethic and
What a
stuff.
round
like,
to win.
Well, plus they don't realize, like, listen, you can do it. There's a free option. It's called just learn how to get good yourself.
Yeah.
Now, do you
Yeah,
want
you play-
to do you want to skip the line and get my
Right.
experience? Because, by the way, I'm not cheap, you know.
And
I
that's
want
what they
to
need to
wanna
understand.
work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's perspective. You're getting someone's
Why would you do it for like $10?
It's like supply and demand. It's like, okay, are you gonna get it from this dude that has like barely MDL experience? If
Right.
that, like maybe
But
main
then
experience?
he would be
yeah, he's
cheaper,
$10
you
an
know, in that
hour.
sense.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
By the way, there's a market there. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
probably go get that guy for $30.
And I've also
maybe.
made the point that I was already like semi-pro, and I still read through your Art of Fraud, just
Okay.
because even though I was almost probably scrimming against Danny
Sure,
on a
yeah.
regular basis, I still was just like, why not?
There might be something in there you get.
read
Yeah.
a couple pages, and then I end up going through the whole thing.
I mean, you even have still to this day, like even star offers. Like I watch like devices demos because like I
course.
learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
One thing that I would say though, like I would never really like even back in 07, the individual lessons I never really liked. But the team lessons of like.
Yeah.
I actually
prefer
don't.
team
I
lessons.
don't dislike those because those are actually quite nice. Because okay, send me a demo of your team. You know, like playing a game, playing a match, and then how much time you have. Maybe you only have
Right.
one lesson for one map, right? That's cool. I'll watch the demo. We're going to hey, listen, this is the feedback I have, and then we'll show you some common setups, some executes, like what,
Yeah.
some default. You know, like just to get you started, right? And then you can build from there too.
Because it's transitioned from that where you're able to work with the team and be like, okay, here's like your default T-side setup, and this is what everyone's job is and why. And then here's a few set plays that you can fall back on if you need it. Here's like a basic general outline and everything.
You know what?
But then the people that want lessons today, it's because, oh, I want to like solo matchmake or something, or
No,
I want
solo
to get
queue.
ECAA or it's
Dude,
like,
that
what
was
the fuck?
actually a big thing I didn't
like,
realize
why?
because I was always talking about like map control
Yeah.
type concepts, and then
It's
they're
like,
like, oh, they want, and
they want
people
solo
love my
pods.
fucking one of my most popular YouTube videos, like solo queue plays a Mirage or something.
Oh, of course.
And but I was gonna say anecdotally, one of my favorite things about the team lessons is when you found no one listened to the strat caller, because those
Yeah.
type of issues are hilarious. Because you realize all these kids just don't respect their one
Yeah.
friend. You kind of
Right.
get to just like
Yep.
have an intervention with these kids.
Right, right.
in
Because
the
they're not going to
server.
listen to him. You know, you're going to be like, listen, this is your friend, but like he's
Right.
making he calling the shots.
Yeah.
You know.
So that you actually do help them.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
the point you
interesting.
made, though, about making them commit to the set of lessons is really good, though, because that's the problem. The person who comes and they're thinking like,
You vet 'em.
they're being like really measly, like, oh, I'll pay for one lesson, but I want to like really learn a lot. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, in one lesson they can't teach you like 7 things you can implement. Like,
Yeah,
you need to
there's
learn
only,
like
like, you
one
have to
thing,
absorb that
implement that.
information.
That's going to be hard. It might
Yeah.
take a week
Well,
or
that
two.
was the first
then,
step.
Then start with the next thing, you know, and it's going to start really basic. Obviously, you're not going to start with some advanced shit.
And the first section of my like survey was self-evaluation. So tell me what your weaknesses
Right.
are and what level you think you are out of 10.
And I think that's part of like why raising the prices is good, because you're like weeding
You
out
get
the
rid
people
of the
that aren't.
retards.
Yeah, you're weeding out the people that aren't really.
Listen, I'm
Interesting
Thorin, mate.
choice of words.
I can do these things.
So you're
I'd
weeding
advise
out
y'all
like
stay away
you're
from
weeding
that.
out the people that aren't like really into it though.
No,
Yes.
no, exactly.
Yes,
And
the
that was
people
it.
who are developmentally subnormal. I
Well, the
agree.
people that's willing to spend money are obviously there
But
for
then,
a reason. You know
then
what I mean?
for me
They're
right
serious
now,
about it.
that's why I launched
Yeah.
the course, because that's kind of an intro course. I want to do intermediate, but it got to the point where I also, like Robin said, how much of my hours I'm going to charge these kids. If I'm really going to do good effort and feel good about it,
Sure.
I'm going to only have time for 3 or 4 students a month.
Right.
And then streaming's a good way to hit a lot more people at the same time.
Yeah.
It's more general.
Well,
Also,
I was
I
gonna
don't,
say-
I don't think these people have any like real world experience. Like, if you want to go and have a tennis pro teach you some lessons, right? I'm not even talking about someone who's like a pro you've ever seen on television.
you're paying
a
multiple
guy who's
thousand a
just, you know,
month.
he's the tennis pro at your club.
Yeah.
You're paying him hundreds per hour.
Yeah.
Like, because this guy has to just one-on-one only teach you during that time, and he has to like plan your whole lessons. Like,
No, you're paying
it's
a
like
grand
you're
a month at least.
you're
for
like
4
getting-
lessons.
for like a decent person,
you giving the guy a $60 lesson for something equivalent when you've actually been a top pro. It's like
I mean,
a bargain
listen, it's a
compared to
personal
that.
trainer. It's like a personal trainer too at the gym. Like
Of
you
course,
pay for
yeah.
a personal
That's why I
trainer.
stopped, just because I thought about what I was going to have to start charging these kids on a real note, and I was like, I might as well just stream with that time.
No,
Sure.
but here's the
Do
thing.
You
You
go to a
can do
personal
both.
trainer, like, I just want to learn how to bench press, dude. It's like, what? You go to a guitar guy to teach you, and you're like, I just want to learn to smoke on the water. Like,
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care about
That's
all
all I
this
want.
other technical stuff. I don't want to be able to read this. I want to just like learn this song. Like, what?
Right.
What are you
But
doing?
Another
Like-
thing you could do just for content too, in that sense of like you could do the team evaluation and like the lessons on stream. I'd be like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
if you guys want me to do this for you, just be aware that I'm going to do it on broadcast.
Tune into my stream, actually, 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
I have it planned. I'm doing a 3-session team,
Listen,
team stream.
We have attentions of goldfish here. You talking about 2 weeks?
They're
from
going to
now,
forget.
Like. Yeah, I already forgot.
I got a
about it.
schedule. All right, I'm penciled in. I'm actually doing that. I'm doing a 3-team stream where I'm scrimming with them once per stream. And we're
Oh,
and we're
that's
gonna,
cool.
And we're gonna
Oh, so you're
talk,
doing that kind
yeah,
of thing.
and I'm going to
Oh,
talk
okay.
shop with them for a little bit.
Oh, that's super. Okay.
Just see how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
People keep wanting me to do the thing where I take like the newbie and everyone could live vicariously through them, and I try to get them to like
Get him to
global
go to a
elite.
higher level, yeah.
And I haven't.
Ah, that's kind of
Boosting
fun.
services, you mean?
Yeah,
based-
that
well,
does sound like a boosting
I would
service.
probably just spec the kid and watch him through like some
Ooh, is he gonna stop the
personal,
fish?
Oh,
personal
right.
He
Stream.
forgot where he
Right.
planted.
You just like yeah,
Good
right.
old Kinguin.
I see what
and
you
the
mean.
Back at
pre-record
it again.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
post it.
I like that. I think that's pretty cool, actually.
I can't even imagine
That's a
after
lot
they
of
lose
work.
this map,
Dude,
by the way,
that's
what
so
level
much
of self-respect Kinguin could have for themselves.
Well,
It's like, you know, at this point in time, it's
I
like,
look. I'm not saying anything because we play the loser of this, and if we go into
Okay.
Kinguin and then we somehow get like the best Kinguin you've ever seen, they're just like
Okay.
absolutely just like thrashing us around. I'm gonna feel real stupid if I say anything dumb in that right now, so I'm gonna avoid that.
Yes, this is the this is your worst nightmare. Actually, you actually didn't probably even want to be here and watch this game right now.
I was supposed to do the next map.
No, but you know what I
Match,
mean. Like
shut
you're
up.
probably like, what the fuck? This is
Yeah,
definitely
I
just
think
a
we should
bad
have played
day,
it against
you know?
Energy, but I don't want to like dwell on the past.
It's alright. We do that all the time. You just have to sleep on it, you know. Wake up tomorrow.
Wake up, go to the gym.
Go to the gym. You would have the second game again tomorrow, then?
We would have lower bracket starts tomorrow, like midday or something, or in the
you have
afternoon.
Plenty of time.
Mhm.
You're good.
This, I'll tell you right now, though, this is not the same Kinguin that played against us at Zotac, and it's not the same Kinguin that's been playing online. Like, they look completely, like, out
Right.
of it. Just individually, as a team, like, it's just so sloppy.
Right.
And it's just, like, so one-sided. It's like, hard to get into it, because it's like, anytime you're like, oh, and Kinguin should be closing out this round because they have a 5-on-3,
Yes.
they lost. It's like, okay, well, what am I actually supposed to say about that? Like, it's not like it's a close 8-7 half.
You know
it's a
all the
12
answers.
to
You're an
listen.
analyst.
People
Nice.
expect
Catch.
you to be 100% at all times.
I mean, in an ideal situation, you just play. You say, like, statistically speaking, 80% of these rounds that they're in 5-on-3. Actually, I'd say argue probably 90% of the times it's 5-on-3 bomb planted. You should be winning that round.
Right.
Right.
I will
so
say,
if I
though-
say if it's a 90% chance of them winning, oh, Kinguin should be closing out this round. They lose. It's like, well, there's a 10% chance statistically speaking if you have that scenario
They
run
don't see that, though.
1,000
They see that
times.
you're
Murked.
wrong and you're an
Guy
idiot.
murked.
Yeah. Well, that's.
one
You
thing
know
I'll
what I
say
mean?
about
Like, that's
this game,
just the
though,
internet that we live in today.
is that the heroic team, like I remember when they first made this call, you know, when like Snappy left, they had like Freiburg, etc. And like they just had a team that was just a bunch of misfits from other squads. They were terrible when they first made this particular call. And actually, I don't know what Asilian's done in the team, but they actually look like a pretty decent team. Actually, like they play off each other well.
Yeah.
They know their spots properly. People are in the right positions. They look half decent.
They're hitting shots, and Kinguin's not. And Kinguin's not punishing Heroic when Heroic does these like solo position plays.
Clotheslined.
It's bad. That's another piss around one with like 4 people alive. It's just like, what's happening? Like, get some more .exe or some shit.
Did Heroic win both pistols on Nuke 2?
I believe so.
Oh, so they just not have a good time today.
No, Kinguin's not having a good time at all.
Completely.
Nice
Alright,
180.
No, it wasn't him. That was Marty. I thought it was the same. I was like, well done.
Yeah.
What just happened?
The observer got us.
Now, what I will say is that they have fixed our delay a little bit.
Yes. So shout out to Kinguin. It's all thanks to you.
Yeah, we are not going to be here until 2 a.m. Thank you very much.
They're prioritizing their sleep for tomorrow.
That's
Get
smart.
home, get ready.
Watch some demos of us.
Great. Why not?
I feel like I do a better job of calling when I don't watch my opponents.
You get mind fucked when you watch.
You're a little
Because you expect
over-analytical.
something, and then you start calling into like the heavy anti plays, and
No.
instead of reading the situation and playing like just
you see one
in the
smoke,
moment,
you're like, I know it's exactly what they're going to do.
it can help in certain positions like that. Oh, like when they do this, like this is when they're regrouping this place, and I can gamble stack. Like in some situations, it can help. But when you're sitting there like calling like, oh, like I remember like this is what they like to do a lot, so let's like heavy play towards it. And then you just like, instead of just playing in the moment and just feeling what's happening, you're just like...
This combo is actually kind of like a weird combo to have because you can't have it with a lot of people and have them truly understand. But when you play a shit ton of like tier 1 events back to back,
Yeah.
there's some teams you'll start to realize who choose to not deviate from their game plan like for a streak of tournaments. And you have a series of teams who always try to adjust to their opponent, and then you have a series of teams who try to change their own plan all the time. And then you start to almost not rely on demos as much as you do just like knowing the team, and then you go into it the next time. And then there's this weird balance, and it's so crazy when you finally get to that point, because then you start reacting to plays that you assume are happening, and if someone really deviates, then within that server, you're like, holy shit, that was dope. What that other team just did to us, because they just like took something that they've been like metaing for the last couple months and tweaked it just enough for this match. Like we couldn't have done anything to that round. And then you have everyone in the spectator on Twitch like, oh, fucking this team just idiots. Why would they do that play? I'm like, you have no idea how many layers there were.
It's like I think basically it's better to know what like their philosophy on the game for themselves is in that sense. Like that's why you have like the famous examples is like when SK used to always like anti the first gun round or whatever in every game, you know. If you know that, like then you have a sense of what they're going to try and do against you, but you won't do exactly that thing, you know. You can play a bit of mind games.
You also have mind games individually depending on spots that you play too.
I think one of the most important things that you could do, like when you're actually looking at demos, is just finding out which players play at which positions, and that's it. I think like if
just for
if
comms, it's going to help so much.
Well, just like for just understanding, like if you,
rotations
instead of just like relying on it for like anti-stratting anything, you're just like, okay, this player plays this position, he's still alive. We just killed 2 people B, but this person plays B, so watch out for third guy.
Exactly.
And I also find there's some teams where you could tell that on their T side, they're always going to rely on 2 defaults.
Right.
If you could just look at those 2 defaults and get a decent understanding, like a strat caller, I don't know if it'd be like Stanislaw or something. You kind of get an idea for the defaults, but you don't really watch the whole half.
Right.
Then it could hold some weight, but you got to be careful even there. Sometimes you read too much into the default.
Oh, that's the end of that then.
16-3. That was even more one-sided than Nuke.
Like the French teams for a while, it was so peculiar how you could always be like, this is what MBK's, and then we're going to run.
Yeah.
For months, you knew the strats they were going to run, but they would just do them over and over every tournament, and they would still do pretty well. But I think that's why SK changed the game a little bit for a while. They had like 3 or 4 things they always did, but they had enough variation where you couldn't really counter.
Yes. I think one of the ultimate has got to be like Virtus Pro, because anytime you thought you had like
multiple
any of
playbooks per match.
Anytime you thought you had their tactics scouted, you didn't. They were going to change something up at every time. You
Virtus
know.
Pro in 2000.
It's just so hard to make it work, obviously.
Really good.
Like 8 different Cobble B executes. Walls for each part of the map.
Exactly.
But it's crazy because I'll see like I'll be watching some games from Virtus Pro and I'll see like Posh literally like peek out into the open to throw a basic smoke. I'm just like, bro, like there's so many ways, like there's a million ways that you could bounce it off a wall from safety right now. It's like, is this the same Posh that used to just dumpster like every team back in 2004?
The funny thing is though, when it comes to utility, he used to do exactly the same thing.
He's
one of
always
those
kind of a
players
peak
that
in
honestly should never buy nades.
Yes.
I has no idea what to do with them.
I had that problem with mollies. It was
Right,
actually a thing on Cloud9 2014 or 15 where Sean's like, because I knew all the smokes and the flashes, but something about mollies, I had this obsession with like trying to throw the most like, this is going to be a shit ton of damage. And if I just kept my fucking gun out and it was...
Yeah, it's just a kill.
Sean and I remember like summer 2015, I had the best stats probably of that whole run. And Sean's like, you're not throwing a molly. So I just had my gun out. And what do you know? I did more damage.
I mean, that's smart.
With
that's
the
smart.
weapons.
Right.
Anyways, are you guys had some final thoughts there for that 2-0? Or are we gonna pass it to Brady?
The problem is that last map was so whack from Kinguin. It's like, I give credit to Heroic, they did well. It wasn't even their map pick. Fair enough. But
Yeah.
they also got like a massive, it's like, the analogy would be Kinguin threw the alley-oop themselves and then ran under the basket and then let them just get the ball smashed in their face. So like at that point in time, it's like how much of it is the dunk and how much is like you did it yourself, you know?
Right.
Interesting.
There's the analogy.
I like that one.
I played ice hockey, so what's an alley-oop?
We do have last game of the day coming up. G2 versus Big.
I'm not going to be here, so
Well, you're gonna watch it at least, maybe.
Sure.
Well, we'll see about that.
I've got something to do.
Ooh,
Send you a
Battle of
text message.
Smooya and Kenny S though, and aren't those two of your favorites?
You gonna film a video
Here's
tonight?
the thing.
Are you-
Actually,
Oh, he definitely is.
I'm not one of those people who, if I don't like someone personally, I'm like biased against him in the game. Smoothie's a pretty good player.
Oh, you don't like him personally?
I don't really know him, but I didn't like him until recently, personally.
Well,
This is gonna be
He's
fixed
reached
this
out
event.
to sort of, men fences, so we're moving on.
All right, that's fair enough.
Probably knew this event was coming up. Probably thought, well,
Well,
better
gonna see him
fix
in
this
person.
before it explodes on camera.
fair.
Duncan, are you gonna go film some content tonight?
I might do, yes.
Fucking dedication.
Someone's got to do it, right?
Right. If you don't do it, someone else will.
Exactly.
Well, we didn't get to see Train, but what we do get to see is the next BO3 coming up after the break. Guys, stay tuned, and we'll see you in a moment.